some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here, the sound of deafening fear.
You gon' die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you would never see me coming. You gon' die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you would never see me
coming. My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he's that.
You gon' die if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side, you would never see me coming. You gon'
I have to drink quick, you know. It's a huge moment for me and my family, you know. Scoring at Anfield is a big moment for me, you know.
You know, focus, you know, on the game because we never know what can happen. So just I'd try to enjoy with him now because we have great 3 points.
I mean, you made a lot of big saves.
Because, you know, just you feel is a fantastic sensation, you know, to help the team. And yes, I helped the team, you know, all of...
You definitely did.
Yeah, all the...
Turning 21.
A young kid, I played for Feyenoord, you know. I always dreamed to play in the Premier League. Dream, you know, for every kid, so I can't describe my feeling right now, you know. Home in Holland, but I will visit them tomorrow at my birthday, so yeah.
For his birthday, yeah. With a plan, you know, and we wanted to play like this, you know, because it's very hard to play against this team. Has been wonderful, so it's great for us.
Okay.
He's clearly delighted. He's got his 21st birthday tomorrow. Let's...
Goalkeeper doesn't... you know, they kept on digging away.
But it
wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect.
Leeds were a team, you know, playing under pressure. You said they're a young team. Yeah. Didn't play like a young team tonight. Played like a team that really believed in what they were going to do, believed they were going to get a result. You can see a goal, but you know that's not the reason that Liverpool lost the game. That mistake. I mean, Liverpool are a country mile from where they were in the last few years. They don't play with the same intensity.
Yeah.
I think in many instances tonight, you know, Leeds were more than a match for what they had been doing to teams for years, where they basically bullied teams. Liverpool, the midfield bullied teams, and now they're being bullied. And that's making them vulnerable at the back, and they're not creating enough same chances up front. Liverpool are shallow.
What would worry me, Graeme, is that Leeds ran 11k more.
If that's correct, that's the equivalent of saying to a man they run a kilometre more than a Liverpool player.
Okay, more. That be more my worry, you know. And I know that Leeds...
What does that tell us about the...
Well, it tells you maybe Liverpool are running around a lot more.
Yeah, but
that's a big difference.
But then still, Graeme, even if you have the ball, you need to move for each other to give the ball, you know, to give the ball to each other. So you're still moving, you're still running, you're still making sprints, you know. And yes, don't get me wrong here, Leeds is a very energetic side. They will run more than a lot of teams. But to have 11k more, that is massive.
Liverpool don't match as a goalkeeper. That tells a story. That does tell a story. But Liverpool are not like the Liverpool we've seen for the last 5 years. And when you look at the midfield of Thiago 31, Henderson 31, Fabinho 29, and then after that you got Keita who's about 27. You got been injured 29. You got Curtis Jones who's 21, and the other young player who started tonight. Harvey Elliott, who's 19. You know, if you go back to the start of the season, Jurgen must have looked at his midfield and felt, we are vulnerable here. Because with the age group, the chances are you'll get muscle injuries. The age group in the midfield, muscle injuries. And then after that, you've got the two young boys. Now, the Premier League, as we know, is a really hard league to play in. Difficult, sometimes difficult both mentally and physically, 9 months for you. And to expect that two young guys can come in and take you through when the more senior players are injured is a big ask. I mean, Harvey Elliott's been playing nearly in all the games now. For me, and I've said this from the start of the season, I'm not jumping on it now, I felt their midfield is no longer the midfield that can get them to the position where they're going to win the big trophies.
We'll come back.
We're coming out a wrong angle. He's more or less coming out parallel with the touchline. You know, he can't score a goal there. He's offering himself up what he thinks is the best angle, but Gomez didn't play He's thinking it's completely safe. There's not a chance this can go wrong. And he's come along parallel with the touchline, where he should have been another 5-10 yards, and he ends up slipping as well, the goalkeeper.
And because he loses the ball, but he put pressure straight away on Gomez. And Gomez there is like panicking a little bit. I need to play it quickly back to my goalkeeper. So in a way, it is still, Leeds that is doing certain things right. But you expect from a Liverpool player that he should be able to get out of that situation easily.
I know the manager's touching on there. That's a group of players that are running around for the manager.
Yeah.
With the numbers, it's not just because it's at Anfield where people get excited to play at Anfield. So they certainly did that, but they're playing for the manager. They had a right go, and the reason they get that goal is because they were chasing lost causes, and that sort of would back up the fact that they all ran a kilometre more than the Liverpool players. But they're a great watch again. Under Bielsa, they were a great watch. Yeah. If that is them every week, how they try and play, they were a good watch tonight. They got.
Yeah, but Meslier was the best player on the pitch. So and we don't want that, They have to. That team can't be better.
That team have to play that because they're young and naive and enthusiastic. You can't be sort of.
And they will be punished.
Yeah, they'll get caught. They'll get caught.
As much to the goal that.
And it's it's a good 4 foot off the ground. Yeah, but for most strikers, then it's not an easy finish.
Jimmy, would you have scored it?
With his eyes, with one eye, he would have scored. I've been on the receiving end of his goals.
I was just looking at what was underneath the surface in that conversation.
I've been that with one eye closed.
Yeah, I think he would have done. We'll hear what Jesse Marsh had to think about that. The Leeds manager has his say after the break.
It was good that we were able to reward ourselves. So my feeling is we shouldn't be in the situation we're in, but we are. I've tried to stay calm, but also tried to push. And the group is strong. And I'm thankful to have them. I think they stepped up big today, and they're the reason why we were able to get the win. So you could go through the last 8 games, and we were not second best. And just couldn't find a way to make plays. And in some ways it felt like that, but we talked about staying strong in the match now and finding ways not to hurt ourselves when it was tight and finding ways to make plays. So that the 3 points is big for us. Just with our principles, with our pressing, with our counter-pressing, with our sprinting, with our work against the ball, and then our ability in transition. So in the first half we could have had more goals. And it felt like another game where we come in at halftime 1-1 and it feels unjust, but we had to weather a bit of a storm, and they're very dangerous on corners. They're big. But
you looked like the threat was still there, but you even looked less like conceding.
Summerville and Harrison to try to manage their roles a little bit. We knew that Rodri it was going to be tough for him. We thought about it at halftime, but we said just give us everything you have, and it wound up only being 5 or 7 minutes or something like that. I thought
to go better than draw had gone.
I just was focused on us staying disciplined within the match. That was important.
You sound very calm, considering you've just won at Anfield.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've believed in this group. We should, like I said, we shouldn't be in this situation. If you look at the metrics, we should not be in this situation. But we've got to stay strong. It's just we're still in a process here of trying to build something that's still new. Again, this is we. It's always we.
Learning that when results don't go your way, it is the manager, as you both know, that is in the firing line. But Leeds haven't been getting the results that they deserve from their performances.
I don't agree with it. I've seen them against Leicester, and they were second best. I've seen them against Fulham at home, and they lost. And against Arsenal, they were unlucky to lose 1-0. And today, they've got the 3 points, but let's not get carried away. Liverpool had a lot of good chances. Meslier kept them into the game. Now, that happens. That's good. But overall, they get too many chances against them. That's why they get a lot of goals against them. They are exciting to watch. They are a young side. They're naive at times, but they are good to watch. You know, they are good to be on the box, but they need to change certain things to defend and not to get that many chances against. Now, that is for him to figure out. But they are excited, and they got a great win. Now they need to build from this win, and they cannot go 4 or 5 games again without a win.
That they've had this evening at Anfield. And the next opportunity to do that is going to be against Bournemouth, which...
It's a must-win game. You've just coming back from the Liverpool game. Now you're playing at home. Your last game at home you lost. Can you win it? If you win it, you know, the next game against Spurs, that is your bonus. This today was a given 3 points, you know, and you take that. But those games against Bournemouth at home, those are your bread and butter that you need to win.
Do that and be sort of relatively mid-table by the time the World Cup break comes, then that's going to feel very different for those.
Yeah, they've been playing under pressure. They've come into tonight's game under pressure. People criticising them. The manager's job at risk. And their average age tonight was 25, 3 years younger than Liverpool's average age. And the experience does count at the highest level. And they're going to have more punches on the nose before the end of the season. But so far up to this point, they've been getting severe criticism. It wouldn't have been a happy football club on a Monday morning, having lost over the weekend. And they've seemed to have dealt with that quite well. Looking at them today, is it a bit of going to Liverpool? You know, Liverpool is still a special place to go and play for players. Were they excited about that? Were they so fired up about that? If that is their normal input to a game, that high energy, I was concerned at half-time that they might run out of steam a bit. Did show any sign of that? Yeah, they got pinned back by Liverpool, but Liverpool did that to everyone. Did have chances against them. But when I'm part of the enjoyment of watching Leeds now and before was, tell me what you think. When you watch them play, it's forward gear all the time. When they lost the ball, they're still piling forward, trying to nick it high up the pitch. It's not a case of dropping off and getting your shape and starting again. Instead of lose the ball, get in your shape and making sure everyone's in their position. So I think there's more difficult days ahead for Leeds. They're a great watch, but they've got a togetherness that's outstanding.
The game, I'm really lively, exactly what we wanted, and then we concede a freakish goal. Equalizer, but the complete security back for whatever reason, but which is difficult then against the side with the speed they have up front. We gave too many balls away. And the boys tried, so really tried. We had a lot of possession. We had obviously big chances which we can or should use. Believe if it's 1-1 and you defend the situation around the second goal like this, then you leave everything open. So for them, so it's really that's not. I don't know exactly, but it looks like so in between we 2 or 3v1 situation on the wing, ball gets still out, which is actually not to explain really, but it gets out, and then in the end it's a 2v1 in the box, and he can finish the situation off. So, but the problem is we cannot control this kind of game in the moment, and that's obviously a problem.
You just had a good start. I know, like if you had a button you could fix it, you would. But why has it become a habit though? Why is it?
Bring together with all the other goals we conceded. It's pretty much an own goal, but nothing to do with the situation. Is a nonsense. It happened anyway, and they use it. We had a similar situation before that, which we didn't use, where the goalie and the defender have a misunderstanding. We don't.
This kind of game at the moment. Fix.
No, but not in general, but too often not. Let me say it like this. So. With the amount of games we have, maybe some players are a little bit overplayed. Harvey, who played exceptional for us this season, had a good starting game, but then couldn't keep going. And Thiago was ill last week. but not ill since 2-3 days anymore. So we think you bring fresh legs in, and think that makes sense. If you don't finish your situations off, they were there, and that changed the game obviously completely. In the moment when we are here 2-1 up, or even 1-0 up, would obviously be helpful. But it's not given for us in the moment, and so we have to fight against it, and that's what we will obviously do. Then it's of course because of that. So it's.
Well, I suppose what I'm asking is it a unity thing, a team thing, or is it?
To the other thing, so that's how it is. You can see that we have very good moments. I liked a lot of parts of the game, but in all over, and you leave it open. And again, we can watch this game completely, and you cannot defend like we defend around the second goal. It's just not possible, but we did. And I went, which would have been deserved as well, fine, and then we take a point and go from there. Now we have nothing, which feels completely different. We had problems from the first day, that's obvious, but injury-wise, how I said, some players have to play then too often, and others come back and have to play too early. That's the situation, because the games are coming thick and fast. So that's the situation we have. So it's now nothing to change about. So we will work, and we will. I don't know exactly. I understand as you ask, but I don't know exactly what you want to hear. I say now we fix it tonight, and tomorrow it's gone, or we will never fix it. It's for sure somewhere in between. We have to help ourselves, and that's what we'll do.
In Premier League history to the season. When they've had 16 points or fewer, they've never finished higher than 6. So it's a lot of the reasons why he thinks it might be happening. What do you think is the most significant of them?
You know, when you're a manager, you sort of have selective memory. He'll be thinking about all the chances they had. And, you know, if there was such a thing as fairness in football, Liverpool win that because of the goalkeeper having to make nine good saves today. This is a recurring theme for them. They've played 12 games so far. In 8 of those games, they've been outrun. Now, I'm not a big one for stats as in black and white, but if teams are constantly suggesting working harder than you, covering more ground than you, then that's something you want to correct. Age, and when you get the wrong side of 30, you start to get muscle injuries. You can't have the same intensity. So it was Salah, Mane, Firmino getting all the headlines. You badge kissers normally do, waving to the crowd, kissing the badge, the goal scorers. But and the influence that Liverpool's midfield had on their success, I thought they were fabulous. And I always, you know, when I look at a game of football, I think, would I like to have played against them or played against him? They'd have been difficult to play against. So let me finish. I think that's the crux of the problem. I don't think they play with the same intensity. And midfield is called the engine room for a reason. It helps your front. You get it to them quick and accurately, and if you're always being aggressive and on the front foot, it protects your back. Why all of a sudden is Trent Alexander being criticised for his defending? To get the head up and pick passes in against Liverpool's back four, which makes them more vulnerable.
Final third, and then they would kill you. And then they had also that they could play out from the back and create overloads in the wide areas, pull them out and get behind you and get 1v1s. And then when they lose it again, they after you again, and they suffocate you. They could do that 95 minutes, 96 minutes long. And they were brilliant at it. I don't see that back at the moment with them, you know?
Do you think they have the players to play? Should they have put reinforcements in place in the summer? Do they now need to be looking potentially at January, maybe at next summer? I'm not trying to be smart,
you know, different things. I was asked about Liverpool, and I said, I'd like, because it is my team, the team I support, I'd like them to strengthen in midfield. And I think that's what's happening to them. I think they don't play the same intensity. They don't get to the ball first. You know, they were getting to the ball first more than any other team. And that takes some doing. But I think this group now, they got bullied tonight, as Jimmy just said. They were second to things tonight in midfield. People come on these shows and talk about formations and tactics. He should be getting better every year at his defensive work. All of a sudden now they're picking holes in him. And I think it's not, he is making mistakes, and I think he's an honest lad, holds his hands up, but I think it's the guys in front of him are not giving him the same protection, because he's asked to get forward as much as he is doing the stuff going back.
Get a little bit of trouble.
permanent stain which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here. The